welcome to Miss Teresa Time. I'm Miss Teresa, and today we have a very exciting show for you. We're doing something a little bit different in the DIY corner. We are going to make a volcano, but before we get to that, we need to introduce our letter of the day, and our letter today is the letter V. Very good. And so we have two V's on our page, a capital or uppercase V and a small or lowercase v. And as we look at them, we can see they look exactly the same, except the capital V is a little bit bigger and the lowercase v is a little bit smaller. So now that we've learned and we've seen our letter V, what do you think begins with the letter V? Can you think of anything that begins with the letter V? Let's see if we have some of the same ideas. So, I have vegetables. Vegetables. Vegetables begin with the letter V. And in this picture, we have all sorts of yummy vegetables. So what else do we have? Maybe something that you ride in every day. We have a van. Van begins with the letter V. Let's say it together. Van. Very good. This next one might be a little bit tricky. I want to see if you know what in this picture begins with the letter V. So let's take a look. Let's see. What do you see? Right, I see flowers. And what are those flowers in? Do you know what those glass things are called? Very good. Vases. Vases. Let's see. We have something else, something that Miss Teresa always wanted to learn how to play. She doesn't know how to play it, but maybe you do, or maybe you know someone who can play this instrument. It is a, good job, a violin. Violin. And we have one more, and I think you might know what it is because Miss Teresa gave you a hint at the beginning of the show. What are we going to make today? Right, a volcano. Volcano begins with the letter V. Volcano. Now that we've seen what begins with the letter V, we need to read some stories. And our first story has to do with that instrument that Miss Teresa always wanted to learn how to play. Do you remember? Yeah, the violin. And our story is called Zing Zing, a Violin by Lloyd Moss. With a mournful moan and silken tone, itself alone comes one trombone. Gliding, sliding, high notes go low. One trombone is playing a solo. So here's this man, he's playing the trombone. What else do we see? Who's listening to this man play the trombone? Yeah, two kitty cats. Let's see if we meet any other musicians. Next, a trumpet comes along and sings and stings its swinging song. It joins trombone, no more alone, in 1 and 2. Oh, they're a duo. So we have two people playing. The man is playing his trombone, and the woman is playing a trumpet. Let's see, I think we might meet some more instruments. Do you know what this instrument is? This one's a little tricky. It's a fine French horn. Its valves all oiled, bright and brassy, loops all coiled. Golden yellow joins its fellows. 2 Now 3. Oh, what a trio. We have 3 musicians, and they're called a trio. Now a mellow friend, the cello. Neck extended, bows a hello. End pin set upon the floor, it makes up a quartet. That's 4. We have 4 musicians. I want to see who knows this next instrument. It's a, good job, a violin. And soaring high and moving in with a zin, 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 a violin. Stroking strings that come alive. Now, a quintet. Let's count them. Let's do it all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flute that sends our soul a shiver. Flute, that slender silver sliver. A place among the set it picks to make a young sextet. That's 6. So let's do a little more counting. Let's start with our flute and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instruments. And if we have 6, we must make it 7. And with steely keys that softly click, its breezy notes so darkly slick, a sleek, black, woody clarinet is number 7, now a septet. And our musicians look like they are having a lot of fun playing together. And if we look, before we read about this new instrument, we have a new friend in our picture. Although I don't think our one kitty cat likes our new friend. It's a doggy. Let's learn about our new instrument. Gleeful, bleeding, sobbing, pleading, through its throbbing double reading. Oboe, please don't hesitate. Come, make it an octet. That's 8. That lazy clown, the big bassoon, he plays low down. We're laughing soon. Here, Grumpy, get your place in line and give us a nonet. That's 9. Let's see, what number comes after 9? 10. And here is our 10th instrument. The harp descends with angels' wings, a heaven's blend through magic strings. And when it joins the others then, behold, a chamber group of 10. 10 musicians. The orchestra comes in the hall. They're on the stage, we see them all. The cello, harp, and clarinet. The trumpet, who we've also met. The oboe, flute, and big bassoon, all eager to get started soon. Trombone, French horn, and violin, all poised and ready. Now begin. The strings all soar, the reeds implore, the brasses roar with notes galore. It's music that we all adore. It's what we go to concerts for. The minutes fly, the music ends, and so goodbye to our new friends. But when they've bowed and left the floor, if we clap loud and shout encore, they may come out and play once more. And that would give us great delight before we say a late good night. The end. I love that story because Miss Teresa loves music and she played a couple of the instruments that were in that story. But now I think we're on to a book that everyone's going to enjoy too. And it's about a volcano. And this story is a little bit different. It's going to teach us all about volcanoes. And our story is called Volcano Rising. So we are going to learn all about how volcanoes operate, why lava comes out of them, and they make noises, and all about magma. So let's read together and learn a little bit about volcanoes. Volcano Rising by Elizabeth Rushk. Kaboom! Most people think volcanoes are either sound asleep or blowing their tops off in fiery ash-spewing catastrophes. Look at that volcano. But volcanoes are not just destructive. Much more often, volcanoes are creative. They grow taller and wider, they form majestic mountains, and they build new islands where there were none before. And if we look, I think I see a beach, and behind it, that big mountain of a volcano. Both creative and destructive eruptions start with gooey melted rock called magma. Magma deep in the earth rises up a gigantic straw-like tube to a vent or an opening. And if magma makes it to the earth's surface, it's called lava. A burst of lava is an eruption. So here comes our magma. I see it, and it is spewing or starting to spew out of that volcano, and the lava is starting to flow. Pow! Gases blast lava out in an explosive eruption. Hiss! Gases and lava slowly seep out in a creative eruption. So we have one big, powerful eruption, and then a smaller one that maybe is going to build some new mountains. A creative eruption can start with the ground swelling a tiny bit each year. Magma gathering underground creates a bulge that may one day make a new mountain. And here we have some explorers and some scientists in a helicopter, and they're looking to see if any new mountains have been formed. Sometimes creation happens more quickly. Volcanoes can appear out of nowhere. One day, the ground cracks and ash spurts out, forming a new volcano. So here we have some farmers. It looks like maybe they're getting ready to harvest corn, and all of a sudden, there's a volcano in the farm. Oh no! Volcanoes even make mountains underwater. If these submarine volcanoes grow high enough, their tips form new islands. We can see, if we look behind the birdie, a new island appearing, and that earth, that rock stretches down into the ocean, and that is actually a volcano. Some volcanoes secretly erupt under glaciers, hiding growing mountains deep under thick ice. If we look, we see the steam rising from underneath all the ice. Who knew volcanoes could be under ice? Creative eruptions can continue for a really long time. Whoosh! Fountains of red, hot lava squirt high into the air. Stinky lava streams to the shore. Fluid lava hits the ocean, steaming and hardens to form new land, a new island. Most volcanoes have both destructive and creative eruptions. Wham! They blow their tops, then spurt, gurgle, and scrape. They get down to business, the business of building a new dome. Kabam! Boom! Even the most dangerous volcanoes, supervolcanoes, can do creative work. Between gigantic eruptions, they can erupt gently for many years, repairing the scarred land. So you can see that huge volcano in the background, and it's slowly fixing what all that hot lava destroyed. To save roads, houses, and harbors, people have tried to stop creative eruptions. But even gentle lava flows are hard to halt. So it looks like we have some people and some firefighters trying to stop that lava that's getting kind of close to the neighborhood. Still, people are rarely hurt by creative eruptions because they can outwalk or outrun them. In fact, we inch up as close as we can to these eruptions, even underwater, to watch the landscape changing. So there's that submarine. He is checking out those volcanoes that are under the ocean, and those scientists are safe because those volcanoes are creative. They're not going to have one of those huge eruptions. Creative eruptions give us a chance to witness the power of a volcano rising. And look at that volcano erupting. That's one of those big eruptions. It almost looks like fireworks. And that is the end of our story. I had a great time reading those stories, and I am super excited to head over to the DIY corner to make a volcano. I hope you'll stay with us and come join us. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me in the DIY corner. This is the part that I think everyone is super excited about. We are going to build our very own volcano. But before we start, we need to learn what we need to build our volcano. So let's see, we have some gloves, and that's to keep our hands nice and safe because we're going to be using things that might sting a little or make them turn red, and we don't want that to happen. So we have our gloves, we have some flour, some salt, 2 cups of warm water, some red food coloring, half a cup of water, some oil, and any oil will do, whatever you have lying around the house. Don't use the good stuff though. We have some baking soda, some white vinegar, a small bottle from, I believe this was a water that I drank. We have some dish detergent, a tablespoon, a cup, and 2 metal pans. You can use a bowl, and you could really use anything, but Miss Teresa is going to use these 2 metal aluminum pans. So let's put those gloves on. This one is pretty messy. This is a messy experiment. So you may want to wear clothes that are play clothes or nothing white, because when this volcano erupts, it's going to get messy. We're going to start with half a cup of water. I'm just going to move this pan to the side, and we're going to add some baking soda to our water. So here we go. We are going to add about 5 tablespoons of baking soda to half a cup of water. And they don't have to be exact. We're not making a cake, we're making a volcano. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Teresa's going to put the baking soda over there, and we are just going to give this guy a little stir. Miss Teresa's kind of messy today. There we go. Now, do you remember our volcano story? What color was that lava or that magma? It's kind of an orangey-ish, yellowish, reddish color. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some red food coloring. That looks good. All right, so we'll give that another stir. Oh, that's going to make great lava. There we go, and now we're going to add a little bit of fizz, a little bit of bubble. We're going to take our dish soap and squirt, a little bit in there. Give that another stir. Oh, that's looking great. Now, we're going to take our tray and we're going to put our bottle in it. And I would do this next part in your tray, but I'm going to do this so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put my spoon aside, let's lay that in the tray. And we are going to fill our water bottle about half full of our solution here. All right, that looks about like half. We'll put the rest of this to the side. And I'm going to put that bottle into my aluminum tray. And we're going to bring in our second aluminum tray. And what we're going to do is we are going to make the shape of the volcano. So we're going to make a dough. So we're going to take our flour and our trusty measuring cup, and we are going to add 6 cups of flour into our aluminum pan. So here we go. Let's do a little more counting together. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more makes 6. There we go. Woo! So we'll put that flour off to the side. And now we're going to add some salt. And we are going to keep using this measuring cup, and we're going to add 2 cups of salt. So we're going to pour that in. And again, we're not making a cake, so it doesn't have to be perfect. There's 1. Do you remember how many we needed? 2. So let's do 1 more. Here we go. It's a lot of salt. 2. All right. Put that off to the side. Go, and now I'm going to use, my trusty tablespoon. And we're going to add that oil. And we're going to add 4 tablespoons of oil. So we'll count this out together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You guys do the last one. You ready? Here we go. What number is this? Good job. We are all set with that. So I'm actually just going to put that right in there. And we are going to clear our oil out of the way. And we're going to bring in those 2 cups of water. And we're going to pour that right in to our mixture. And I'm actually going to pour about half and do, a little mixing. So here we go. Oh, this is the fun part. Mixing, mixing, mixing. And if you're anything like Miss Teresa, you're going to get a little messy. There we go. That's why it's important to wear something that we don't mind if we get messy in. And I can tell my dough is a little dry, so we are going to add the rest of that water. I kind of feel like I'm making bread. This would not taste very good with all of that salt. I think we are ready to form this volcano. So I'm going to do a little brush. Whoop! Miss Therese is very messy today. I'm going to move that over there. We're going to bring back our other tray. Remember, this one has our bottle with our magma in it. And we are going to take this dough, and we are going to, form it around the bottle. So we are going to turn this into a volcano. Here we go. Wow, Miss Therese is so messy today. Because this is so messy, this is definitely something you want to make sure that mom and dad say is okay to do, and maybe do it with them. Make it a big family project. It's especially fun to do outside because then you can use a bigger bottle and have an even bigger volcano eruption. I am going to keep forming this. Now we have the basic shape of a volcano. And if we wanted, we could do more detail or add some paint, but I think we're going to leave our volcano just like this because I think we all know what we're waiting for. We are ready to make this volcano erupt. All right, so here comes the fun part. Now, you see Miss Therese is now standing and she's pushed her sleeves up, new gloves, and we are ready to make this volcano erupt. Now, before we do this, we want to make sure everyone's standing back. No one wants to be leaning over the volcano. And when we do this, we want to make sure that we're doing it in a room that does not have carpet, because this is going to be messy. All right, now we're at the point that everyone's been waiting for. We are going to make this volcano erupt, and we've moved everything out of the way. Miss Teresa has that white vinegar. And this is going to react with the baking soda that's inside of our volcano and cause it to erupt. So, here we go. I'm going to take that cap off, and I'm going to stand back. I'm going to use those long arms I have, and we are going to pour. Woo! All right, so there was our volcano. It exploded. I think we could probably make it explode a little bit higher. So I'm going to keep playing around with it, but we are going to give you a list of everything you need and all the measurements to make this volcano at home. Have fun!